Hello and welcome to the Schenectady Foundation Support Series. This video will focus on sustainability. So what are we asking when we're talking about is your project sustainable? Does your project have the ability to maintain its benefits and outcomes beyond the grant funding period? A sustainable project will create lasting changes that extend beyond the initial project timeframe, develop mechanisms that generate revenue or secure alternative funding to continue operations. So what do we ask in our application? We ask that you explain how you will sustain the impact of your project after the grant period ends. And if the project is intended to be a one-time initiative with no extension beyond the period of funding, then please specify that. But why do we ask this? We want to ensure that the project does not become dependent on a single source of funding, to guarantee that the project's positive outcomes will persist beyond the initial period, to evaluate the organization's preparedness for managing the project in the coming future, and to ensure there's a plan to secure additional resources or partners. In terms of sustainability, what are we looking for? Projects that demonstrate feasibility and scope in a reasonable plan for securing financial means, strong leadership and experience to ensure project success, strategic partnerships and collaborations that leverage additional sources, whether financial, volunteer, and/or in kind. What are some strategies to make your project sustainable? Capacity building. So use the grant to make your organization stronger, not just to fund a project. Train staff, improve systems, build leadership. When the grant ends, you should be more capable than when you started. Community engagement. Get the community so involved that they keep it going. Volunteers, local champions, advisory members. If people feel ownership, the project outlives the funding. Revenue generation. Find a way to earn income from the work. Sliding scale fees, training other organizations, etc. It may not always be possible, but it's always worth considering. Advocate for policy change. Make the change permanent by getting it written to policy, law, or institutional practice. Diversifying funding sources. Don't rely on one funder. Show you're pursuing other grants, donors, sponsors, or other government contracts. The more funding legs you have, the more stable you are. Strategic partnerships. Partner with organizations that share your goals and can contribute resources, even if it's just space, staff time, or expertise. Named active partners make your project more credible and more durable. So to provide some examples, a weak answer may sound like, after the grant period ends, we plan to seek additional grant funding to continue the program. We believe the improvements made to the community will speak for themselves and attract future investment. We may also look into hosting at fundraising events to help cover ongoing costs. Compared to a strong answer example, we are launching a community giving campaign during the grant year with the goal of building a base of recurring individual donors to cover ongoing materials and operational costs. Building upon our partnerships with local organizations, they will provide volunteer support and in-kind resources that meaningfully reduce our expenses. By the end of the grant period, we anticipate that a growing portion of our budget will be supported by non-grant resources, with a realistic plan in place to continue expanding that base in the years ahead. So, what are the differences between those two examples? The weak answer treats sustainability as an afterthought, something to figure out after the money runs out. while the strong answer shows sustainability was designed into the project from day one, with real institutional commitments, a financial plan that compounds over time, and a community structure that doesn't depend on the grant to keep functioning. Takeaways from today's video. Demonstrate feasibility for securing future funding, develop sustainable funding strategies, focus on building partnerships. It's not all just about funding and grant sources. It's also about who you can rely on and who is working with you to get this work done. And how can we get the community involved to ensure that this great impact that your project will have is long lasting. Thank you for watching and best of luck on your application.